Hello, I'm Tam with Tam BOTC channel. This is probably going to be the last episode for today. This is Dragons of Deltora, Dragon's Nest by Emily Rada of Scholastic. All rights belong to them, of course, because they wrote the book. Also, I noticed that I've been pronouncing a word wrong in the last couple episodes. Fiery? F-I-E-R-Y. Does not look like it should be pronounced that way. You want fiery to stink and spell it F-I-R-E-Y. What is it called then? How's it pronounced there? Whatever. Still stupid. There's some dumb rules that make exceptions for some reason. I don't know. The English language me no understandeth. Anyways, let's just end this chapter before any more fiery comes up, which I think there will be. Anyways, let's get on with this. This is still chapter 4. The next chapter, by the way, if you want to know ahead of time, is chapter 5, The Four Sisters. I think that's where the real story really hits off. It's this Four Sisters, if it hasn't already. The crystal writhed, its center darkened, then with a hideous grinding sound it cracked from corner to corner. Red sparks flew upward from the crystal's core, and a terrible howling filled the air. Barda, Jasmine, and Leaf were thrown back, their hair flying around their faces, as if blown by a fierce... See, that's the... Fiery, fierce. It's got the same 3 letters at the beginning. Hot wind. I had to complain about that. The bellows dropped from Doom's hands, and he clapped his hands over his ears, his face a mask of agony. But the fire of Aiden's forge, where the belt of Deltora had begun its life, burned on relentless. Huh, that's weird. The great topaz, and it just ends there too, which had summoned both the living and the dead to Leaf's aid, gleamed golden as the full moon, and slowly, the howling died to a moaning hum, and the crystal began to cloud and soften. Leaf, Barda, and Jasmine crawled to their feet. Last page, or last 2 pages. They saw that Doom had picked up the bellows and was moving back to his place by the forge. Doom's face was drawn, but gritting his teeth, he lifted the bellows and began raising the heat of the fire once more. There was a sharp crackling noise. The humming absurdly changed to a low buzz that rose and fell as if hundreds of flies were trapped within the glass. Then, horribly, a thick, dull gray liquid began bubbling from the crack in the crystal, oozing across the glass surface. Filled with disgust, Leaf stumbled to where the huge hammer lay beside the forge. He picked it up, feeling his mighty weight. He took a sure grip on the familiar handle that had been polished to silken smoothness. Silky smooth? Dark Souls. No. By so many hard-working hands, he turned. "Come closer, slave," the Shadow Lord's voice hissed. Oh. Okay, I have to do a scary voice then. "Come closer, slave." There we go, perfect. The Shadow Lord's voice hissed. I hate how it tells you who's talking afterwards, by the way. After you've already read it. Lord's voice hissed from the crystal. Leaf jumped, almost losing his footing as the weight of the hammer dragged him off balance. He felt a split second of shock, mingled with crushing disappointment. Then he heard the second voice, which I'm hoping is still the Shadow Lord's. "Yes, master." It was a thin, cold voice, fainted but clear. And I guess it sort of matched that. And it too had come from the crystal. Leaf heard Jasmine and Barda exclaiming behind him. He saw Doom's eyes widen in disgusted horror. The oozing liquid on the surface of the crystal was forming into a shape of a thin, cruel face. The shape's writhing lips moved. "I am here, master. What is your will? Is the idiot boy Endon proclaiming king, slave?" "Yes, master." "And the belt?" One side of the gray face sliding on the glass, bulging hideously, then shrank back into place. The thin lips curved into a smile. "The belt has been returned to the tower. It awaits your pleasure." "Ah," the hissing voice sighed with evil satisfaction. Evil satisfaction. Whatever. The next one's The Four Sisters, Chapter 5. I can't remember how many times it said fiery in this. But if you know how many times I said fury, then that's probably fiery. So please note that that is a mistake. Oh, there it is. I see one already. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope that didn't mess up any immersion for you, that I mispronounced the word fiery in the last episode. I'll need to remember that. I wonder if I was pronouncing it when I originally read this book like that. I might have been. It's just a little detail, but whatever. It's stupid. I also pointed out how they always, this is why I can't do my voices for the book, is I can never predict what voice is going to be saying what. Sometimes I don't even tell you. But you have to do the voice now, and then after you've done the voice, you find out it's somebody else. Like, take for example, I'm going to do the Shadow Lord. "I am evil," and then it turns out it's actually the Great King Leaf's voice. "Oh crud! Change of plans. My voice is supposed to be like this and noble." It's really stupid. They need to say. And it actually has done this a couple times in the book where it says, here's one when King Leaf was speaking, or thinking to himself, actually. It said, King Leaf, and then he was thinking, or King Leaf thought. Why can't it do stuff like that? Or abruptly Barda disrupts them in a shouting manner, and it says that one time it said it before, and one time I remember they have it after. I don't get that. Why would they do that? And then this part really threw me off was the end, so I had the same voice practically. That was actually apparently two voices talking at once. Was doing the weird whispery voice. It was supposed to be because the reason I noticed was at the end in middle of each sentence, one said master while the other one said slave, or referred to the other as slave. So they referred to themselves, and I was like, oh crud, well I didn't really notice that because it's at the very end of the sentence. So it's a little bit stupid. So, that's just something for future reference, I would think. If somebody's going to say something, or abruptly say something, say they're going to abruptly say something before they actually say it. It probably helps with people who want to do, voices like me. But a lot of the time I get thrown off by that. And I know it's not a big deal once again, like fiery, but yeah, it can get annoying. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave comments below, and that's just the phone ringing. Silly ringtone.